So welcome back, guys, and this is match points right now for Malaysia. Can they do it? Can they figure things out? And can they get this W? It's time now for TVT action, and it will be GLG versus yuChoR and Terran versus Terran Warfare. Onto a pretty stable map we go on, Everdream LE, very familiar for all of our players in this base. But we gotta say though, that this is a lot of pressure right now on GLG. He has to figure it out. He has to get this W here for the Philippines for them to stay alive. And if not, it'd be funny to see our host country going home on the first day in the eliminations. But it's all about merits. It's all about who will be able to get that victory. Will it be Malaysia? Will it be the Philippines? Let's find out as we get into Everdream LE. It's yuChoR versus GLE. Let's get into the game. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are at it again. One more brawl, one more bout, and one more battle between our two nations of Philippines and Malaysia. Introducing first, here on the top right of Everdream LE, representing the EXO side, and he is known as in-game as Anak ni Bakuko. I love that name already. It is our very own GLG. And his opponents, here on the bottom left, repping that Malaysian flag, and the question here is, can seal the deal? Is it time to see a victory here for the Malaysian Stripes? Is it time for them to get the W? That's gonna be the question there. Because introducing on the southwest, it is our orange Terran, yuChoR. So here we go, guys. We are at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna be another battle, gonna be another fight, another go between our two players. So looking at it, seeing the CVT, it's all about that control. It's all about seeing who can get the better bio on, and maybe, just maybe, figure out what is best against the opposition. Who's gonna be playing something a little cheeky first? That's gonna be first question to ask here, as yuChoR gonna be setting up a few Marines here, there, and everywhere already. Factory gonna be into play as well, sticking on one base right now. And Anak ni Bakuko, or GLG, gonna be looking to do the same old thing as well. For now though, at the very least, a little bit of a standstill here. And looking at our results so far, some good victories here and there for both sides. In terms of players, Phoenix winning out against Animal, and Claw winning out against Ninjaong there for the Philippines, with Ranger beating Saipem, Marauder Z winning against Gobalam, and Septimus getting the default against Nux. So 3-2 scoreline right there, and Malaysia has basically, in essence, gotten the last 3 games in the first place. For now though, as the cat is busy looking for a little bit of a munch there, we do find siege tank here for GLG so far. Only GLG rather is the one expanding. yuChoR going for the siege tank there, and he just wants to play a little safe before anything else, looking for the 1-1-1 before the expansion, trying to set things up in terms of the tech side. And don't forget, tomorrow, guys, we will still have 2 more matches: Vietnam versus whoever wins this bout, as well as Singapore versus whoever wins that one in the grand finals, with them up by 1 in the first place. Yeah, Anak ni Bakuko picking up that supply depot there. Starport gonna be into play as well. 1-1-1 setup here from the side of GLG so far, and it seems like he just wants to have everything he needs and more to set up for a good game. Cyclone though, jack of all trades, very good at defending in so many ways against Terran as well. It seems like Anak ni Bakuko is gonna be the one on the offensive there. So's up with the Reaper, but yuChoR is keeping an eye out. Goodbye to one of those scouts there. GLG has to back on out again. For now though, it seems like here for the side of the PH, they will be able to try and take a macro base lead. 2 bases versus 1. yuChoR will have to find an opportunity to get his own expansion up and running, And it seems like now it's time for Mr. GLG to build everything that he wants to build and more. On the other side though, Cyclone gonna be into play. There we go, the command center here for yuChoR as well. Looking to go for a safe expansion before anything else. In the meantime, what's gonna be the play for both sides? Is it gonna be drop side now from Bakugo? Seems like that's gonna be the case. Medivacs, I'm gonna get loaded up by some units there and then. And the siege tank's gonna be reinforcing the lines here. Now, will we see a classic Marine siege tank Medivac push? Or will we get more of those Marauders, more of those Iraqs into play? Those are the questions we need to answer, but yuChoR is answering his own questions with the scan online. Gets the information, yuChoR though gonna be going for his own drop siege tanks in position, and GLG getting torn apart and caught out in the open there. Beautiful high ground right now here from the side of yuChoR, but we will see GLG trying to survive. SCVs are pulled, and this is desperation time here for the Philippines side. 13 SCVs falling on down. These workers trying to do all they can and more. And eventually they clean up house, but what a drop there from yuChoR at a moment's reprieve, just deciding, hey, surprise, I'm gonna drop them down and bring in the Thunder. What's a push from our Malaysian player, and this just basically allows him not only the space to expand, but keep at it with the pressure. Perfect drop in the middle of all of that. And I gotta commend our PH side though for surviving even after all of that. He was trying to make his own proactive play, but he was caught napping and caught out by the Orange Terror in the first place. yuChoR though has not given up, and he is gonna go at it again. Big drops coming our way, and look at that army size just whittled down for the side of GLG. But at the very least, with these mules dropped on down, he will be able to get a good income on. And yuChoR right now looking to find that killing blow very, very soon. This is close here for our Orange Terran to wrap things up for the Malaysian side. If this attack actually works out, they will get match points, and it's just all for pride there into our last match of this day. If GLG though will survive, then he will force out a 3-3 scoreline, and it can still be anyone's ball game. But here we go with the same old drop in the same old place. But that's gonna be GLG kind of prepared for it in a way. Lose one siege tank already on the side of the Malaysian player. But that's gonna be delivered there. They're packing quite a punch before anything else. yuChoR though still trying to find a little bit more. Going for the tech lab first to make sure no upgrades gonna be going online. And that's a big advantage right now for the side of our Malaysian player. 26-8 army. The siege tank can't really get in position. SCVs will yet again. This time there are Marines there. And 14 are gonna be going on down. Here we go again with the workers trying to get more. But the Viking gonna be going into the mode onto the ground. And this is just gonna be GLG trying to get the hell out of there. yuChoR has stomped on his opponent, threw out the doormat, and he is basically in position to get the victory here. This is complete control from our Orange Terran so far. And basically right now, this is going to be GLG looking to survive even a little bit more. Can he actually get it on? That's going to be the question there. yuChoR trying to survive onto the north side with that Viking, but that's going to be going on down. And here we go again with a little bit of a reset. But that reset is the same kind of situation wherein the Philippines is lagging behind. I gotta commend yuChoR for how he's been playing this out. Absolutely impressive. Proper drop in the middle of everything. And he is just destroying his opponent there. Pretty much a mirror matchup right now with siege tanks, with Medivacs, and with Vikings. Nothing out of the usual. And I'd love to see here from the Philippine side that if and only if we can get the mid-transition lock on, and that can make a big difference to catch out that Medivac and force yuChoR down to the ground instead. A lot of wishful thinking right now here for the Philippine side. They need to execute, and they need to do it fast. GLG is the last hope right now in terms of the match point situation. And as we said, he needs to get this victory. But looking at what yuChoR has done so far in his bases, he's getting his upgrades up and running. He doesn't have an engineering bay though as of yet, I believe, so he's not going to be getting +1 on anything anytime soon. 3-rack setup though in the 3 base is a really good staging point here for our Malaysian player. And while he's taking it pretty easy, it is going to be Bakugo trying to at least get a little bit more done. Looking to even things out on the SCV count, taking the lead on the army as well. So not a bad job by GLG, that's for sure. But yuChoR can really take this ball and run away with it so far. It feels like everything has been rolling in the side of Malaysia here. And now here we go again. Can the Philippines survive one more battle? That's the question there. GLG looking to do what I've just said and trying to catch things out mid-transition, but this is a little too much to handle. The lock-on, killing one Marine, sure, but those are the siege stacks looking to set one up. Start sip right now, but the shock cannon will still connect. And GLG has to retreat here. Anakni Bakuko, can he survive a little bit more? Sends it up his own siege stack, but he feels like this is gonna be a pretty overwhelming army to deal with. At the very least, it seems like for both of our players, they're playing the scans, they're getting some intel, and they're respecting one another, and especially their positions. Upgrades, though, gonna be going online here, and there we go with the siege tank right now. Gonna be looking to drop into the south side. Anakni Bakuko, though, gonna get caught out in the open. There we go again with the Liberator onto the defensive mode, and those are the shock cannons getting the blow on up in another go. Overall, though, this is still pretty solid here from GLG. Not gonna lie. You'd expect him to be in the worst situation, but he is doing all he can and more. Survives with that siege tank as well. But this is basically really this Liberator trying to get a bigger zone on and getting closer and closer. What's the plan right now? yuChoR has to try and survive there. That's gonna be the push. The stim back on in allows the mob up onto the siege tank. In the end, this Liberator is looking oh so pesky. And the problem here for the side of Anakni Bakuko, he doesn't have a Viking to try and turn things around. Eventually, though, he just decides to push onto it and loses a number of Marines again. He lost his legs, he lost his life, and he lost everything there, but it's a good drop here from the side of GLG. Problem, though, is if these Marines are here, what is defending onto the other side? Combat Shield also making a difference here for the side of yuChoR. An extra 10 HP, keeping the tanky, and goodbye to initial force there. But GLG ever opportunistic, at the very least, trying to snipe out a few medevacts here and there. Gonna be a little bit of a push though, and these Marines need to get ever so closer. There we go with the shock cannons again. Eventually, he is in the critical mass range, but still, these siege stacks turning back into the cannon side. yuChoR will again survive. In all honesty though, our Terran player in orange has been the one taking this lead for quite a long time. Question here is, can he still stay on? Can continue with everything he's doing so far and just really choke out the life of the Philippines by this point? Running out of time though, running out of space, and running out of room to breathe in. That has been the problem so far for the Philippine side, and GLG is just absolutely adamant at surviving. He's gonna go for an expansion, but it's pretty far off, so the question is, will his opponents be able to see it? Very, very risky right now to go all the way there, but at the same time, yuChoR, he's going at it with his own kind of drop. Even the SCV on the inside might be putting down a bunker in this brawl. But the question is, can they actually find the angle and get the play on? It's time right here, right now, to see if the Malaysian side can drop in just to destroy the Philippines here. The Marines are going to be there. The SCV is still running on around. Here we go, though, with a quick little funnel. And it seems like for GLG, he just wants to get in position again with those siege stacks. Combat Shield, though, going to be going online soon. Still a good number of Marines right now, as well as medevacts. And there we go with the siege tank on yuChoR side, but it will go down at the same time. Seems like, though, here for GLG, he will get the mob up one. Vikings, though, getting the DPS overall as well. And my oh my, Anakni Bakuko, this guy does not give up whatsoever. Absolutely commendable effort here from the side of the Philippines, but it really feels like yuChoR is taking a lot of air control so far. These Marines right now as getting the DPS on again. SCVs have been pulled into the natural instead, and this hurts the economy of GLG so far. Here comes a little bit of the push, and another cleanup there, but one more siege stack, getting a DPS on. SCVs going for the brawl in another go. And it seems like every single time we see this here from GLG, it's a worker revolution waiting to happen. He's a survivor, he's a believer, and he is going for it. GLG, Anakni Bakuko, this guy is just impressing everyone every single time. Looking really, really good in how he's been setting things up. But again, still an uphill battle in another go. Now the issue here though is, with a setup like this, is he's just able to even out in terms of the worker count, sure. But on the other side, that army count isn't as great as you would expect. 56-22 means that if yuChoR keeps this pressure on, then that is gonna be game, set, and match. And it seems like he's gonna be going at it here and there again. Build up for GLG, not giving up whatsoever. Going for this another base. He's moved out on the command center here. It's gone into the main mineral line. So this is going to be forcing him to play into less safe spots. And already you can see the answer there. Command center now getting blown to bits. 32 army versus 68. But at the very least, he has the resources to even up that count. Question is though, can he get the production in time? He has the +1 in terms of the infantry weaponry, but not the armor. And we're seeing the same old situation a while ago. No combat shield versus combat shield. Who wins? yuChoR does. This time, +1 on the armor versus no +1 on the armor. Who do you think's gonna win? Gotta say the man with the bigger army count. But we'll find out right now if an Pakuko can make a miracle out of all of this. Those Marines gonna get tossed into the meat grinder. And GG is called. Malaysia will move on after an ironclad affair there from GLG. yuChoR will at the very least seal it for the Malaysian side. And they will win it out 4-2. We still have one more game though to see if the Philippines can try to get it to the 3-point mark. But man oh man, yuChoR sealing it for his team. There you go, guys. The victory goes to Malaysia. And the Philippines is the first team eliminated from the Southeast Asia League. So, kind of unfortunate to say, kind of unfortunate to see. But it is what it is. And that is just how it goes. A painful, but a pretty solid try overall there from GLG. He really showed his moxie there. And someone you gotta watch out for into the local scene. But the Philippine side gonna be bowing on out so far after these results. We still do got one more game to go between David Bain and Jorah, but score doesn't lie. Ranger, Marauder Z, Septimus, and yuChoR sealing it for Malaysia. Good effort there from Phoenix and Claw, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. So, we will be taking a very, very short break here before we get into our last game. David Bain versus Jorah gonna be the next one on the list. Please show your support to these last two players looking to represent their nations. It's also gonna be the last game we're gonna be seeing the Philippines, so might as well end it with a bang. So, we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned, stick around. This is Philippines versus Malaysia. Lower bracket round number 1. Malaysia has sealed it, but Philippines can get still one more score on the board.